Today on Won't You Beat My Gamer, it is all things jazz. We're joined by our special guest, Nate Sloan, musicologist, pop and jazz expert on the keys. Give us a little, yeah. We're going to write the best jazz song ever written.
He's nasty.
Nasty on the keys.
There we go. Yeah. That's right.
Talking about the history and evolution of jazz. And Nicole, you're gonna also get musical for us.
I'm gonna impress everyone with Trombone Champ. Yeah, that's right.
Have you ever played the trombone before?
No, I have not.
Oh, I was talking to her.
I think my performance is gonna speak for
See,
itself.
you're an actual musician, and you were humble, and then look at her. Come, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I know my limits.
You'll see.
Let's just do it. First things first, as I'm sure you know as a musician, any good band chooses its tromboner.
Yeah, that's a technical term. It's a music term. Please show some respect.
Yeah, probably should be trombonist, but we can work with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
This is who you're playing as, Nicole?
Yep. And nothing's unlocked.
I see there you've got options, jubilant or studious. Any idea what the difference is?
Ooh, or auto dance.
What's that mean?
You know, I don't know. I like the word jubilant, so I chose that one.
Okay.
checks out.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do the warm up first because I need to learn. That's what we're dealing with.
Nate, would you say trombone most hilarious instrument?
Did you see that fact?
I did see that fact said there are more trombones than humans on Earth, and that is not true.
I told people that, thinking that they were telling us real facts, and
Nicole, you're crushing
okay,
it.
the mouse is so much
you're doing
easier,
great.
you guys. Wow.
Nasty.
Ooh.
I wouldn't say I'm.
Oh, a little record scratch there?
I don't think that was me.
My big trombone. You know, this game seems to have a good sense of humor so
You're gonna
far.
see that in action.
I appreciate that.
Trombone.
Can't be too serious about the trombone, I think.
Girl, you're crushing it.
Well, this is the warm up. You're gonna see how quickly it gets.
This is, I mean, already I can tell you that this is different than, you know, Guitar Hero or something like that.
Right.
What makes the trombone kind of a unique brass instrument is that there are no set pitches, unlike, say, a trumpet, which has valves. And you press down the notes and it gives you a little bit more of a foundation of what you're playing. You know, Nicole's doing a great job because with trombone, you have to, it's all muscle memory where you have to position your hands on the slide to get the right note.
I can't believe we have to do this for an hour.
So that was really impressive.
That's my highest score
great.
I've been playing this game for like 2 weeks. Highest score I've gotten.
That was incredible.
Wow.
211 toots.
Wow. And only a B score, though.
Yeah, again,
We'll
best
get
I
there.
could do. Okay, so let's do something a little more like ball. Let's go to the ball game. I think that'll be our next.
Ball game.
In terms of brass instruments, because the trombone's in the brass family, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Is it one of the harder ones to try to master?
Yeah, I think they're all pretty difficult, to be real. You have to create the sound by actually vibrating your lips. So you could try that, both of you,
like
right
a-
now. Yeah,
that.
yeah. It should be a little tighter though. Maybe tuck your upper lip over your lower lip a little bit.
My sister played French horn, so I've played
that,
some
man?
French horn
Yeah.
before. Which
Oh,
only
you
has,
have?
I did, which that
So you should be correcting me then.
no.
The horn. Well, it's actually just
No.
in the orchestra we just call it the horn. Actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm Canadian, so.
Okay. I take it back.
But so with the French horn, with the horn,
Yes,
it has just the 3 keys.
it does.
Do you like use your hand to like change the pitch of it?
I think
like,
you can get some assistance from your hand, but generally it's the speed of the vibration that you're
Gotcha.
creating with your mouth. Yeah, but yeah, there's ways that people manipulate the sound, and
is
especially in jazz, a lot of trombonists and trumpeters will use a plunger, which is literally a household plunger like this one.
You put that on your face like Ace Ventura?
And well, you don't put it.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I can see
I thought
it.
you train the.
No, you put it on the bell of the
Right.
instrument, and then you can manipulate it like this while you're playing and create these sort of wah-wah sound effects.
Do they also use kind of like a foam ball or something too,
foam
or like
ball,
something? I feel like I've seen it in movies.
Certainly, they use like bowler hats
Gotcha.
sometimes, and there are like special mutes that are made of metal that they use as well. But the plunger gives you that wah 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 sound, like that sad trombone sound.
Yeah.
That's you need one of these for that. Wah 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 wah.
How did that come to be? Because that's like the universal sound of like sadness.
How did the sad trombone sound go?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a great musicological inquiry
never know.
that I'm not exactly poised to answer, but in jazz, especially like 1920s jazz, like this, the world of When the Saints Go Marching In, this was a really popular technique, and the best trombonist, especially I'm thinking of Duke Ellington's trombonist, who was named Tricky Sam Nanton. He could literally create words with his trumpet. There's a famous song by the Duke Ellington Orchestra called Harlem, and in it, Tricky Sam literally creates the word Harlem with his trombone, which is like one of my favorite moments in jazz history.
Do jazz musicians typically have the best names?
Yes.
Yes, that was a big part of jazz culture, because now it's a very, I don't know, it's a very sort of accepted and even sort of sophisticated music, but at the time it was still, in the 20s, it was considered to be countercultural, and wow, Nicole is crushing this solo. My goodness.
We're gonna sell this MP3 later.
And as part of that counterculture, people had a lot of nicknames. Just I mean, probably in the same way that a lot of rappers and MCs have nicknames today. You know, so you had Tricky Sam, you had Bubba Miley. You had Count Basie, a lot of royalty, you know, Duke, Count, King Oliver. So Billie Holiday was Lady Day. I could go on, but yeah, everyone pretty much had a nickname. So do you guys have nicknames when you do your live streams?
I was Wheezy before it was ever taken by anyone else.
Okay.
So, Nicole?
You know, no.
Okay.
I don't really have one.
maybe we'll have one by the end of the
Big
day.
Nicky.
Little and big.
Little Big Nicky.
Big Nicky.
Little Big Nicky.
Little Big Nicky on the toots.
That's like there's a tenor saxophonist named Dexter Gordon, and they called him Long Tall. So that's
Long
like
Tall.
a little bit, like
That's
little
cool.
bit. Yeah.
So being counterculture as it was,
Sure.
was jazz music, is it used as a way to like tell stories through music?
Yeah, I think as jazz developed, the goal
This might be too hard for me.
the goal of wow, this is
It's hard.
yeah, this is rough. I think the issue here is the tempo. It's quite fast.
And you're all over.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but I dig the arrangement.
you were saying.
People usually credit Louis Armstrong, not Louis. He actually preferred to be called Louis.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and he's generally considered to be the first musician to improvise in a way that really created a narrative and like made you feel like you were listening to a story when he played. But I would say the main goal of jazz in that era, the 20s and 30s, was to create a party. It was dance music, and people would dance all night to these jazz orchestras. At the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem, they had a stage on either side of the venue, so as soon as one band took a break, the other band would start up, so you never had to stop dancing. These parties in Harlem would go until 9 a.m. There was a breakfast dance at 7, and then you would probably pass out at 10, wake up at 5 in the afternoon, and then do it all again.
What was kind of like the genesis of jazz music as a genre? Like, it was obviously a uniquely black genre of music. Did it come from somewhere beyond that?
Well, there were a lot of different influences. One of them was like marching band music. Like in the late 1800s, early 1900s, marching bands, John Philip Sousa, they were super popular. This meant that there were a lot of brass instruments like the trombone and the trumpet floating around, and folks like Louis Armstrong, growing up in New Orleans, picked up that instrument, and they would take marches and they would improvise over them. They would rag them and they would transform them into this new sound that became known as jazz.
One of the things we teased at the top of the episode that we want to set out to do is have you help us write our very own jazz song. However, I think it's really important to first kind of talk about what makes a great jazz song so that way we know.
Yeah, well, if I'm thinking of some of the great jazz standards, you want to start with a catchy title. So I think that's probably the first thing we should come up with.
What are some of the great titles that you love and think we should aspire to?
It should be there's a songwriter named Irving Berlin. He wrote Putting on the Ritz and White Christmas, and he says you need a title that's really catchy and memorable, maybe some kind of phrase or some kind of even just a word that really stands out. So
well, here's what comes to mind for me, because you've been playing really nasty.
Yeah.
So maybe like Nasty on the Keys.
Nasty on the keys.
Nasty on the keys.
Because she's on the keyboard.
She is.
All right, so that's okay. Now so this is a good
Now
start.
we're cooking. We're cooking with jazz.
Might even have like a double meaning too in terms of this kind of keyboard.
because the keyboard and the
as well.
keyboard.
Yeah.
All
And the key to our happiness is
do
friendship,
it.
and here we are making friends.
We're doing it, and I can't sing in a key.
Okay.
So
I could go there. So nasty on the keys, right? So now we just need a couple rhymes with keys. Can we get some words that rhyme with keys?
Fees and please.
steez.
Steez.
Okay. Please.
Steez, please.
Like if you please.
If you please, yeah. Okay, cool.
Keys,
Give
keys
me
on
the-
Valencia?
Give me the drum. Why no?
Okay, so we're gonna have.
Okay.
So a lot of jazz songs are written in this form called AABA.
AABA.
So there's like
Don't rhyme. Wait.
so there'll be 8 bars, and it'll end with our title phrase, which is "Nasty on the Keys."
Okay.
Then there'll be another 8 bars, and it'll end with the same phrase, "Nasty on the Keys." Then the B section, 8 bars, some contrasting stuff, and then a final A section, "Nasty on the Keys." So basically, we need 3 rhymes with keys.
Well,
So we've
Chad
got
suggests
Steve.
green peas.
Oh, great.
Green peas.
Snacking
Okay.
snacking on some green peas.
Yeah, snacking on some green peas. What'd you say? Steez? Filled with steez? Can you use steez in a sentence for me?
Steez would be like, you've got style, you've got steez,
got
you
style.
know?
He's got style, he's got steez, he's nasty on the keys. Yeah, I mean.
Snacking on some green peas.
Okay, yeah.
He's got style, he's got steez.
And then what's our last rhyme? Please? Something? Yeah, okay.
Like-
So I think that's probably enough. So here's
more,
our.
more peas if you please.
Yeah, well, I don't think we want to overdo the peas.
Oh, okay. I'm really focusing on the
You
peas.
get 1 peas per song.
What if we're like
is
snap
probably my
peas
feeling.
and we change the type of pea?
So now is it just about peas though?
No,
the song?
okay,
I
you're
think-
good note, good note.
I think we'll do 1 pea lyric.
And then
Okay.
how do we
Not
think
to be
that
too.
my tromboning in the background helps with the song?
It just makes it really difficult.
This
which
is a chaos
which
episode.
is fun.
It is.
So, but you're like roughly in the key of
What
G,
were our
so
lines? I completely
you
forgot.
can't beat that old country steez. You, me, and
Dupree's.
That's good. Okay, so we're just gonna keep it lit.
What were the other lines we were talking about? What's the name of the song? I forget.
Nasty on the keys?
Nasty on the
yeah.
keys.
So first we got
Snacking on some peas.
some nice green peas.
You, me, and Dupree's.
He's nasty.
Nasty on the keys.
There we go. Yeah. He's got style. He's got steez. He likes to do whatever he please. Oh, he's nasty.
Nasty on the keys.
Okay, so that's our second A section. Now we need a bridge. Anytime he plays his piano, people say, wow, that's
A piano.
a piano, it sure is. They all go crazy, and they like to put some stank on it.
I don't remember anything.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that old country steez.
Steez,
Let's
okay.
just say it.
No, we're gonna
Can't beat that old country steez. Ah, he's nasty. Nasty on the keys.
Frozen peas.
I mean, if we just polish that up, that could be a
hit.
I think so.
jazz
That's
song.
a TikTok
Yeah.
wonder.
So,
Go straight into this. God save the king. All right.
You know, I wanted to have other countries be represented.
Thank you.
Because PBS SoCal, it's for California, but it's also for
Feels
the
very
world.
International, yes.
I think if I were a game designer, I think what I would add to this game is some element where you're actually having to use your breath control as well. Because that's the biggest difference here, is that playing a brass instrument requires, filling up your lungs with air and then expelling it. What if there was some, device where you you also had like
You have to,
you had like a breathalyzer.
I'm out of breath.
Or some kind of blended
And you-
pea protein that contained the nutrients.
Okay, we're really on the.
Help expand
a
your
lot of people have allergies to legumes.
I mean, there is. I think the trombonist Fred Wesley wrote a song called "Pass the Peas," so maybe you are onto something.
Are we
here.
infringing?
Yeah.
Oh, baked beans!
Baked beans.
Close!
Also, this song, it really makes you realize how much we copied our song. Like, that's the same.
You
That's-
mean the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah.
The Star Spangled Banner is the melody of a British drinking song
Beautiful.
called "Anacreon in Heaven." So
That
you're exactly
that
right.
makes a lot of
Nicole.
sense.
We literally did steal that melody
Yeah.
from the British.
There'd be a lot of
Yeah.
people upset to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, Elise, don't get too
All right,
excited.
let's do it. I'll sing it in French. Should we stand? Should we?
I can't, but you could.
Terre de nos aïeux. It's like I'm back.
Wow, Nicole should be apologizing to every Canadian right
You know,
now.
you're not supposed to clap after the Canadian national anthem.
Interesting.
Because it's not very good, or?
Okay, all right, roasting us up.
Okay.
Oh, it's much better than the Star Spangled Banner. Not.
Okay.
I don't want to get too political here, but let's just say I think the Star Spangled Banner is a really inappropriate anthem because it is impossible to sing.
What about America the Beautiful?
I think that would be a great substitution. I think the Star Spangled Banner is a disaster of an anthem because you have to be an incredible singer to sing it.
And most
And
of
maybe
us aren't.
maybe you even discovered that when you were tromboning just now. It's a very difficult song. Da, 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 da,
Have you
da.
ever heard
It's
Fergie
kinda
sing
cute.
it?
Oh, and I have.
Yeah.
What
No,
food do you think will appear at the end of this? Because a burger appeared at the end of the.
Maybe some
Star Spangled
flapjacks
Banner.
or something like that.
Poutine?
Oh, we didn't. We just got a beaver. We didn't get. We didn't get some poutine.
Are there subsets and subgenres of jazz music?
Yeah, especially as the history of jazz proceeds through the 20th century. We have all these different influences. We have global influences. Bossa Nova in the 1960s becomes incredibly popular, and people like Antonio Carlos Jobim create this Brazilian jazz hybrid. We also get free jazz in the 1960s, which is one of the most, I think, challenging and controversial forms of jazz, which moves beyond chords and harmonies and even rhythm sometimes to try and access this totally unfiltered improvisatory expression. And then in the 90s we get styles like acid jazz, which combine the sounds of hip-hop and R&B with jazz. And I think what's remarkable about jazz and why it's such a fun music to listen to and study is that the emphasis on improvisation really prepares you for lots of different musical careers. And so, you could be playing what song is this? I missed.
Danny Boy.
Oh, this is we're still in Danny Boy. Wow. So yeah, it could if you study jazz, you would be equally comfortable playing Danny Boy as you would the Star Spangled Banner, as you would Nasty on the keys. So I think it's a very versatile kind of music. Yeah.
What does it take to play the blues?
What does it take to play the blues? Well, Elise, there's a literal blues scale that you can play, which sounds like this.
I
And there's-
lost my peas, fell down the drain, tried to make dinner, it just wasn't the same. That's all I got.
The classic blues structure is you have one line, and then you repeat that line, and then you have like a contrasting line.
And by line, do you mean like a lyric?
I mean a lyric line, and over and underneath that you have a 12-bar blues form. So it would be like, I lost my peace today. It made me so sad. And then you repeat that line.
I lost my peace today.
Yeah.
I want peace so bad.
Yeah, beautiful. And then we need one more line.
Sail down the drain. Just wasn't the same.
That's how it's
Wow.
done. That's like the platonic blues form.
Should
and
we
then
make
there
a band?
no.
Oh,
So here's a. Do I have any Grammys?
Yeah, it just seems like you're talented enough
Oh.
for Grammys.
we've got one lying around here.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very
PBS,
fun.
you know.
This is
Beautiful.
House of the Rising Sun. This
Yeah.
is pretty hip.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Speaking of hip, there's just something about jazz music, maybe because of its longevity, that it feels old, right?
Yeah.
Like when I picture someone who's into jazz, I picture an older person. Are younger people finding these inroads to jazz music?
Definitely. Someone in the chat mentioned Leve. She's someone who I think is bringing a lot of people into the world of jazz. I teach a lot of jazz
Well, you have a
students.
podcast too, where I'm sure you talk about it and it comes out. What's your podcast called?
My podcast is called Switched on Pop, and there's so much jazz influence on contemporary pop music, even if it's not always apparent. I've been thinking a lot about the late musician D'Angelo, who's one of my favorite
That was so
performers of all
sad.
time.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to his music, and I'm listening to the chords and the harmonies he plays, and I'm thinking, wow, he's so deeply inspired by jazz. So I think there's always been it's gone up and down, but I feel like the popularity of jazz right now is actually at an apex, thanks to people like Leve, Kamasi Washington. I think jazz is as cool as it's ever been right now. That's my
And your
feeling.
students, are they discovering older music and older musicians? And
Yeah, the tradition of jazz is so important. You transcribe solos and you learn them by heart, and you quote other people's melodies in your improvisations when you're making them. So I think there's a lot of respect for the tradition of jazz, even in the young people who are playing it right now.
well, yeah, I mean, this feels like such a tribute here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite arrangements so far that we've heard.
Yeah, I kind of dig this. Bring it home, Nicole.
Yeah, woo, Nicole. I feel like
There
are you
we
are you
go.
connecting with this song?
Oh, in a big way. Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah.
That was. We better get an A here.
Well, so concludes our foray
man.
into Trump. What is this game called?
Trombone champ.
Trombone
Champ,
Champ.
yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this show, subscribing, and supporting us. Nate, how can people check out your podcast?
You can listen to Switched on Pop anywhere you get podcasts, or go to our website, switchedonpop.com.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us.
Oh, this is so much fun.
And Nicole, how can people support Won't You Be My Gamer?
pbssocal.org/gamer. You gotta check it out. Donate what you can. You're making this all possible. And make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends.
One more song on the way out, I think.